When we say the Great Reset is just laying framework and why the Build Back Better funding cannot go through, and somebody in Washington needs to be vigilant that none of those pieces are ever introduced in any other bill. The reason why I say these things is because we are on a new road, and we are on a road where you're the little person, I'm the little person, and we're not really consulted on what's coming. Part of that is because we're not interested. Well, I should say this. Part of that is because the media cannot find a way to make things interesting. It's not that hard, but they can't do it. And they don't think that you have the intelligence or the emotional quotas to be able to handle what's coming. And I think if you just partnered with the American people and said, hey, look, this is what's coming. We need to figure this out together. We would come up with ways to be able to keep our freedoms and navigate in this new world. But that's not what's happening. They believe that freedom is going to be displaced by some sort of authoritarianism. And so to stop the jackbooted thugs, they'll become thugs in, wingtip shoes. The banks and the governments and the giant corporations will work together and you'll just take it. Well, I don't think the world is going to take it. But things are being laid in right now that are very important to keep your eye on. The NHS in the UK has just released an app for domestic travel passes for COVID. Now, I'm going to quote some things, and it is from gov.uk/government/pub. Okay, so it's right directly from the UK government. The data now that this app is collecting, but it will only be on your phone, and it will be kept completely private on the app, and it's not going anywhere. Information relating to the individual's physical or mental health condition and vaccination events. Now, you might say that's a little concerning because what does my mental health have to do with anything on a vaccine passport? But don't worry about that one, because it also collects information relating to the family of the individual and the individual's lifestyle and social circumstances. What the hell does that even mean? But it also holds the information which relates to the ethnic origin of the individual and information relating to genetic biometric details where processed to uniquely identify an individual. And then it also, but it's just going to be held on the app. Any criminal convictions or alleged criminal behavior. All for your safety on the app. Now, I don't know why I would need an app to remind me of alleged criminal behavior. I don't know why I would need an app to remind me of my ethnic origin or my lifestyle or my social circumstances. Can you think of a use for that at all that's legitimate? By you? Geez, what were my political affiliations? Oh, yeah, I remember now. What? No, you wouldn't need any of that. You wouldn't need any of that. Now, it's only so far they are only using the information relating to individuals' physical or mental health condition, only vaccination events. But the other things are listed as things we could put on the app, things that are there but not in use yet.
Are they trying to make this essentially your ID card, right? Like your voter ID card could be there. Maybe the party would be important, right? Like to be on there in some way. But again, if it's only for you and you're not sharing it with anyone, obviously
I don't need that from the government,
right? So is it essentially an effort at a passport system of some sort?
Yeah, it says in their own words, domestic travel passes now collect data on mental health, social circumstances, political opinions, lifestyle, alleged criminal convictions, and will be used as a identifying document, quoting, for right to work and right to rent.
In political opinion, there'd be no reason.
No reason.
Except for all of the horror stories we warn about all the time, right? What else would what other reason would there be to have that information accessible through a passport system? Political opinions? I mean, and look, as we've said over and over again, the British system is not one that we want. I don't know why we continue to chase them.
No, it's not. But this is the stuff that is already being done by big tech, and it's running in other countries. I mean, the Sweden story is really disturbing, and that is the story of the chip implant. Now, this is being done with the full knowledge of who is doing it again? I keep only thinking the Swiss, but it's not the Swiss. It's Norway. So the Norwegians are fully on board with this, and they're doing it openly. They're taking a small, teeny chip with their biometrics and their vaccine status, and they're implanting it into their hand so they can scan their hand. But it also gives, the individual all of their biometric data, their heart, their breathing, all of it, constantly monitored, and you can be alerted on an app of your phone if your heart starts to beat a little too fast. Like, I wouldn't know that. It also conveniently will help you if you get lost, because you'll be able to find yourself on a GPS map.
What a great thing.
What a great thing. My phone does that already. I can just drop a pin at where I'm at.
Well, I would think about an Alzheimer's patient or something, Glenn. Maybe a missing child.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be able to...
If we could only save one missing child,
it would all be worth losing by force.
Losing all of our freedoms.
Yes, thank you. Finally, you've recognized that.
Yeah.
You've been pushing back against that one for the better part of 30 years, but I'm glad you're finally there.
I'm finally there. Mm-hmm. I mean, if it can only save one person, one child, one person with Alzheimer's, we should all lose our freedom.
That's kind of like the national motto of the last couple of years. Right?
It is.
We should just turn our entire society, lives, economy off, because in theory it might save some people's lives. And as we see, that's very difficult to do when you look at all the approaches from around the world. There doesn't seem to be any that have actually, quote unquote, worked. Right? I mean, you can find real lockdown societies that have lower death rates. You can find certain societies that have done absolutely nothing and have higher death rates. But generally speaking, I mean, the idea that Europe was so evolved in the middle of this COVID stuff and did all these things the right way when we did them the wrong way, and they have the same or worse death rates than we do. Maybe it seems like it's not all about this moral struggle. Maybe it's a virus and it just does things, and we have to learn to live with it the best that we can and try to come up with ways to fight it.
Or we could use this to zombify people. And make sure that they understand the government is here to help.
Yeah.
And if it will just save one life, that it's all worth losing your freedom. Why don't you have the app? The one thing that's not on this app that I'm surprised is that you have to watch, like, the Prime Minister, and then you'll be quizzed at the end of the day. That's what's on the Chinese app like this. You have to read the words of the dear leader, and you have to answer questions during the day. And if you don't, your social score goes down. So, I mean, it is absolute indoctrination. You have to read it every day and answer questions.
That's incredible. And of course, it's exactly what you'd expect from the Chinese Communist Party. You'd expect it a little bit less, I guess, out of the British government, but also less out of ours. And that seems to be the way it's playing out. We just keep following them down these roads, right? We don't have this, thankfully, at this point. But we have to stop it or it will come. You know, I mean, you talked about the grain of rice inside your skin. I mean, the Apple Watch does almost all the things you're talking about. Right?
Yeah, but you can take the Apple Watch off.
Yeah.
If you enjoyed this video, hit like and subscribe to our channel so you'll be sure to see similar videos from Blaze TV with the added bonus of signaling YouTube that your voice and opinion still matters. And if you're looking for more great conservative content, check out one of the 2 videos suggested here.